is poker like do you feel like it's like keeps you sane?
In a way, you could say that. I mean, it's like in a subtle way. I guess you could say that. It's more like for me, games that keep me same if that makes sense. And
What
poker.
other games do you play besides poker?
I mean, I play games on my phone occasionally. I mean, I've started to branch out into martial arts, for example. I have the
Ooh.
idea. I mean, I have the idea like I want to try sparring at some point and to like add some competitive element to the gym stuff. And it's a bit of a challenge in that. I mean, I think maybe I want to see if like my ability for strategy can like get help me actually win some fights. But I need to be a proper athlete a bit.
I see a future poker fight. This is going to be like. There's been a couple of good poker fights, like Elke versus Lex, right?
Yeah.
And then like what was that MMA fight that was like kind of crazy? Like JC Alvarado? No, who was it? It was crazy. It was
JC
like
versus
two
Olivier Bousquet.
Bousquet, dude, and Bousquet like jacked,
Yeah, he was
right?
leaving.
Okay, so who would be good? Who you have? We have to wait for the next like poker beef to come out for you to
Oh
figure out
yeah,
who
yeah.
your opponent is.
Well, that one I'm pretty far away from being ready, and right at this moment, probably everyone could whoop my ass. So that one will have to wait.
Depends who you pick.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to poker, how it actually was a bit of a surprise because and I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying. First of all, I realized that like for you for painting, poker's a really big part of who I am, and in it is actually embodied all my values. I discovered, and I realized, oh shit, like everything's there. Everything that I think is valuable, like patience, the right strategy, um, what can you say, like perseverance, courage, seeking truth, like all these things are in poker. And I realized that like through it you could see the way in which many life principles play out. In many ways it's like symbolic of like how the principles of life play out, you could say, which was a one of the interests of mine was essentially trying to understand yeah, it's been really like a growing passion of mine. It's just trying to understand how the world works, and it's like led me down some very interesting paths. And like, what's the point of everything, and that kind of stuff. And I like wonder if there's like more and more connections to it that I am not really seeing to other fields, which has yet to be explored, and that's like almost a different conversation topic. But in addition to all that, I saw some elements that could be uh, could be explored more on. I mean, it could be used potentially as a tool for maybe potentially as a tool for how do you say self. I mean, it's kind of a long shot, but self growth. There's elements of that. It's essentially gamified spirituality if you think about it. Um, you can also, I mean, apparently, you can just act like a goofball while you're playing poker. It's like really hard to do that when you're playing like professional, like like football or something like that. Like when you're playing professional poker, you can like sit there and eat sushi, get a massage, and just be free and do whatever you want. And then dress up like Macho Man and just bring a trash
Hey,
can.
I love I love taking screenshots of when you're getting like a head massage playing like high stakes poker or something.
Yeah.
You're always like in the middle of a hand, like some woman's like rubbing your head like this and like yeah, it's good. I mean, I taught my kids how to play poker. I think there's a lot of good qualities. I think that I relate to poker because I think there is a lot of chance taking in being creative,
Hmm.
and I think there's a lot of I think there's I'm like a cook, like a painter. It's kind of
Yeah.
like mathematical. There's sort of like different approaches that I take, different strategies that I take. Just in painting. I think the social aspect, which you brought up earlier, that I didn't really touch on, there is a big social aspect to the art business and the art world. But a lot of artists fucking emo freaks, you know, and they don't really want to deal socially either, and that can be hard for them too because a lot of the art world is very social, but it's not all that. And there are plenty of people who are totally off the grid who are incredible artists who get big opportunities too. But
Okay.
it is a big part of it.
It sounds like poker, kind of. I mean, there's plenty of like weirdos in poker, and I mean, I'm social now, but I was more in the other category before. Uh,
Yeah.
I guess it makes some kind of sense. I don't know. It seems very different in many ways to poker, but there is a creative element to it. It's just not. I mean, it's combined with some other things, if that makes sense. Uh,
Yeah.
what would you say that you love? What would you say that you love so much about painting?
Um, I love the ability to like create something in my own hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I just love the process of building something from scratch. You know, it's like a it is like a certain kind of game. You know, it is like a puzzle, and I love puzzles and I love putting things together. So I think it's just super satisfying. You know,
That's it.
generally speaking, like super satisfying, difficult and hard and strange, but overall like super satisfying.